Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and yes, it's a SEAL clubbing special, and I'm in my Matilda, tier 4 British medium, and it's a tier 4 match, so I'm rubbing my hands together, and we all know what Matildas are like when they're top tier. Obviously it's fully upgraded. I've kept this just for a bit of fun. It's got the quickfire 2-pounder, 121mm penetration, which is very good at tier 4, and 145 I think it is on the premium. Only 55 damage, but it soon adds up with its rate of fire at 28.5 rounds a minute. Now, I think all I've got on here are vents and a spore liner. I don't carry premium consumables on my lower tiers. I also don't fill them up with completely premium ammunition, so technically it's not SEAL clubbing. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Now, very very slow machine at 24 kilometers an hour with a woefully underpowered engine, but it's its armour. That is where the Matilda's strength lies. 75mm on the front of the hull, 70 on the sides, 55 on the rear, and the turret is 75 all round, and there is not much down here at tier 4 and 3 that can get through one of these things. Some of the tank destroyers can, another Matilda can, and I think the B1, the French tier 4 heavy can, which is kind of like a French Matilda in my opinion. But yeah, there's not a lot, and the reason I'm down here and I'm platooned up with my lovely wife is we are doing the hammer op, and I think this was... Do you know what? I don't know when it was. I can't remember now. Whenever the Hammer Op 4 came on, we were doing that anyway. And because she's only just started her account, oh, bit of server lag there. Because she's only just started her account, she's got a couple of higher tier premiums because obviously she knows how to play the game anyway, so she bought them. But she's still working through. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a lot easier in a Matilda than it is in anything else to this hammer up. It does seem to be, especially when you get top tier. I found it very easy. And then I found it even easier in the SU-76I. But I think I was punishing Hetzer there, who's now bugged out. And blind fire killed an M3 Lee. But yeah, it's a bloody good little tank, this. Very very tough, and you will notice I was experiencing a lot of lag, and I'm not sure why, no idea. Blame my service provider, they can take the heat for that one. But yeah, with the Matilda you miss, don't matter, you've got another shell loaded within a couple of seconds. It's ridiculous rate of fire, it really is. And like I say, I kept this to have a little bit of fun in it. You've got to be more careful in a tier 5 match, obviously. You know, sit back a little bit, or stay back should I say, which isn't much of a problem seeing as you are very slow. And a tier 6 match, yeah, you just want to cry. Because you do not have the manoeuvrability to get out the way, and at 55 average damage per hit, it takes a hell of a lot of hits to get rid of tier 6s. Got Marder 2 down there is backed off, and there is the enemy Matilda creeping up over the hill. He's seen me now, and I was angled very poorly, so I turn a little bit to angle better, and I've hit his ammo rack, which will help me out greatly, and somebody finishes him off. There you go. Oh, an artist having got me. Hence why I've put a spore liner on this, because, well, it's only, I think, is it 20% with a small one, something like that, but it's still 20% less damage from HE, and that's what it's all about. Artillery love Matildas, they are absolute arty magnets. Stuck down there, but he's ducked out of my line of fire, and I'm just deciding where to go. Yeah, that FCM Pack 36, nasty gun on those, very nasty. Now you might hear me just underneath talking again on the headset. Now I honestly don't know why that's there. At the minute I have to edit and record just using the PlayStation record, and I've actually turned off include microphone in recordings altogether and all the other options that went with it, but for some reason it's still recording my side of the conversation, and I'm not entirely sure why. But hopefully in the near future I'll be set up to record properly with a capture card, which will eliminate all these little problems. Right, that's taking care of the little beggar that was going to try and take our cap. So I'm going to spin it back around I don't know if anybody else finds this, but on Dragon's Ridge, especially in your sort of slower heavies, things like the Matilda, that sort of thing, you tend to sort of reach this point of the map, if you do come up this way, and don't move, really. I've spent most of my time just bumbling around up here, shooting at things. And it's not been a bad match. I've got 14 hits in. It's it's all right. That's not a great deal in the Matilda, I must say. And here's that enemy Stug. And did I track him then? It doesn't look like I have, but I must have done. Or I blew his engine, possibly. I did go through his lower plate. And German vehicles are notorious for getting engine damage through the lower plate. In fact, it's one of my favourite places to shoot them. Just don't try it with an E50M though, the tier 10 medium, because they've actually had it all rearranged inside, so the transmission I think is in the rear. So shooting it through the front plate shouldn't damage the engine. And we've now got the enemy DW2 sat in our camp, trying to camp, but I'm not going to let him. And while he's content to sit there, I'm just going to keep pumping shot after shot at his last location. Excuse me, that really snuck up. Keep shooting his last known location. He had moved, so I wasn't sure if the shots were going wide. It can be a little bit wild, the Matilda gun at times. And the only thing left is enemy arty, but I was spotted, so I was itching a little bit there, thinking I was going to get a shell down in between the shoulder blades, so to speak, or the engine deck, which I suppose would be the shoulder blades of the tank. And there you go. Not a bad little round, and I think I got 2 points. I did forget to look at the other ops, but I know they would have been for money. The other ops, sorry, because I got 2 points there. High caliber, first class mastery, and again, my lovely wife got 3 kills, so we ended up with the brothers in arms, which is nice. Getting a little collection of those, trying to work our way up to a crucial contribution. But yeah, I'm happy with that. High caliber in a Matilda, 55 damage per shot average. Not a bad round at all. And I think that got me the last 2 points for the op, so that was nice as well. Right, on with the seal clubbing. This time I am in my newly acquired Hetzer. That's right, I was a Hetzer virgin and now I'm not. And I love this little tank destroyer. And it's a tier 4 match. And yet again, we all know what Hetzers are like in a tier 4 match. Now, I have the 105mm or 10.5cm derp howitzer equipped because why not? It's so much fun. You've got armor piercing rounds with 64mm pen, 350 damage. You've got heat rounds with 104mm pen and 350 damage, and then high explosive with 53 and 410. Aim time is 1.7 seconds, which is not bad, and 0.53 accuracy, which is bloody awful, and rate of fire at a shade under 7 rounds a minute. Now the Hetzer again is a tough little beast from the front, 42 kilometers an hour, 220 horsepower engine, which is, do you know what, it's acceptable. It really is. Its speed and its acceleration, yeah, I'm happy with it. View range is awful at 260 meters, but it is really tiny. And it's got very, very well sloped 60 mils of frontal armour, and we all know what it's like to get through the front of a Hetzer, especially when you're a tier 3 or well, quite a few of the tier 4s actually as well. The sides and rear are a complete other story at 20 mil and 80 mil respectively though. But yeah, I've been through a lot of the German TD line. I went through it up to the Jagdpanther, and I don't know why I got rid of it actually. I think it was to fund something that I wanted more, and I went through to the Nashorn and almost lost the will to live, and I don't even got to the Störenmill, which is awful. But I've just one shot 2 tanks, one from full health, one I must admit I wasn't quite paying attention. I do apologise. I'm a bit lax tonight, aren't I? I'm just crap. But anyway, pay a little bit more attention. Panzer 1G up there, who's going to wish he just stayed hidden, and one shot him from more or less full health. And again, there's that server lag. I think this might have been yesterday, and keep an eye out for that server lag. It's going to be important later. See that? That's setting up for things. Yeah, building tension. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I just love the Hetzer in a tier 4 match with this gun, and even in a tier 5 match you can still mess about with it. I mean, you can see I carry sort of a variety of shells. I carry 6 heat, 6 armor piercing, and I carry 8 HE. I do carry more HE because in the higher tier matches, when you're not wanting to use heat, you can still cause some damage with your HE. You get quite a bit of splash. Now there's a Panzer IIJ down there, and I'm not quite sure what happened, but I fired at that. Oh, and I hit the Electo in front, it looks like. We'll have a look in the battle results screen. It's a very, very dodgy shot on that Panzer IIJ, but you notice I switched to HE. I don't want to fire heat. Or did I fire heat? I must have fired a heat at him. I think that was by accident, actually. I was intending to fire HE to get the splash damage. But yes, like I was saying, I've been so far down the German tank destroyer lines. Never bothered with the Hetzer. Never wanted one. Been watching a few videos of jingles and what have you, and seeing the Hetzer on there, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get one and I'm going to give it a try. And I love it. It's such a fun little tank destroyer. And it's one of those tanks that, again, when the stress of the higher tier matches are getting to you, or idiot teams or lemming trains are just really rustling your jimmies, as Jingles would say, then you jump in the Hetzer or the Panzer IIJS or the Matilda, and you keep your fingers crossed for a tier 4 match or a tier 3 match in the Panzer IIJ, and you just have some fun. And again, that was a very dodgy shot on that B1, I think it was, and I was lucky to hit that. That was quite nice. Now at this point I've not got any equipment on this, and it's not even 100% crew. I think it's about 80%. There's the enemy Hetzer. Hetzing RT40, and you can see the server lag. God, I'm pretty sure this one was yesterday. In fact, I'm 99% certain it was yesterday, and for some reason I was experiencing massive lag in the afternoon. And then it turned out that my oldest lad had somehow deleted World of Tanks by accident or otherwise, and was downloading it again, and that is why I was experiencing some massive lag. You see, we live in a house where the attic's converted, and he's up there, so it's 2 stories above me. He's on the 3rd floor. Sorry, 2nd floor, technically, yeah. Ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor. We're not American, I think they do it the other way. Although I could be wrong there as well, and I don't wish to offend any Americans. You'll have to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But anyway, enough of that. So he was downloading it, and because he's so far away, it seems to put a strain on the router. I mean, we've got 40 meg fibre optic, and but it seems to put a strain on the router for some reason, and I'm not quite sure why. So yes, server lag, love it. Anyway, I'm on 5 kills at the minute. Can I make it 6? And I'm coming up here. Oh, there's an enemy T40. Can I get a shot at him? Oh, something hits me. And that was the lag, made me face the wrong direction. I managed to get a shot off at the T40, but the little bastard that sat up near the lighthouse manages to finish me off, and I think it was a Marder. Well, it was a Marder that finished me, and I think that was him that was up there. But yeah, that was that lag I was on about, and it just basically made me point the wrong way. I was sort of looking at the tank when I stopped, but obviously I must have overshot on the lag, just flicked it off to one side when it caught back up. Absolutely frustrating. If it hadn't been for that, I possibly could have got the shot off at the T40 that little bit sooner, and possibly stayed alive. And I'm just flicking around. I'm just looking for anybody who's doing something spectacular, to be honest. But it looks like we're going to cap out. But then I find this guy in the T40 who's just killed something else, and backing up. And I think he was on 5 kills, or was I not? Or was that somebody else? Was that me that I saw? Can't have been me. I would have been further down. But anyway, the T40 I think had a decent game as well. There you go, got a high caliber in my Hetzer, I got a Reaper, 2nd class mastery, and I got my Top Gun, albeit posthumously. And Hunt the Hunter gave me a little bit extra there. In fact, yeah, there you go, the T40 did get 5 kills, so he did have a good match. I thought he was, and I was trying to catch somebody who was going to do something awesome, but yeah, he'd had a good match as well. So there you go, that was I think my first round of the day in the Hetzer. Or if it wasn't my first round, it was definitely my first win, but I think that was actually my first round in it. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. We've got one more coming up for you now, and it is back in my SU-76I Seal Clubber Extraordinaire. So here we are, we're on Ardennes, and I'm in a Tier 3 match, and we all know what SU-76Is are like in a Tier 3 match, yes. Flogging that one again. Right, now these ones were... They were an actual tank, according to the blurb. It says they were developed on the basis of captured German Stuck 3s and Panzerkampfwagen 3s, or Panzer 3s. And the modifications were made at factory number 37 in, I apologise for this, Sverdlovsk, if my pronunciation is awful, which it probably is. And apparently there was roughly 200 of these manufactured. It's got a 76mm gun, 13.95 rounds a minute, 86mm pen, 110 damage, 102 for your premium rounds, again 110 damage, 38 156 for your HE. 2.1 second aiming time, not very good accuracy at 0.44, but it's a tough little bugger. It really is. A Panzer 38 down there, and we're going to be able to get a shot at him, not from where I am. Yes, it is tough. 50 kilometres now, 300 horsepower engine, so it's a speedy little thing. As people will know from driving Panzer 3s, they're not slow. 40 degrees of traverse on the hull, 300 metre view range, 60mm of armour on the front, 30 on the side, 50 on the rear, interestingly as well, so not bad there. And like I said before, and I think it was the video I put up the other day actually when I featured this one, it does remind me of a little Tier 3 SU-122-44. So I went down to the eastern side of the town, and then I've cut in down this middle road. And at this point, again, I'm not getting points or anything like that for any op. I am just in here to have some fun. Right, there's an M2 light down there, and needs my attention. One nearly finishes him off in one hit. Finish off that Panzer 38, that's the one I saw earlier again. Move my attention back to the M2 light. And can I get the S35? Oh, that one went wide. They're a tough tank though, and I get one in just to finish him off. Yes, like I say, at this point, I was just having some fun, basically. I do have this with equipment on. I think I have optics, a gun rammer, and a gun lane drive. I think, if I'm right. Oh, now I've taken a hit there, and I am going full-on YOLO down here against this S35, but I managed to finish him off, and I am left on 13 health. And I may wish that I didn't do that in a little bit, but we'll see. Well, what's that put me on? Is that 4 kills? Again, the resolution's terrible when I'm doing the commentary. And I know there was a guy just round this corner, which is why I've pulled up. I was actually expecting him to drive straight out round the corner, and he didn't. So, in I go, in my monster machine. Because I just love this thing, it's so much fun. It's Chiha. And I almost feel sorry for these guys. I do. I just feel a bit dirty watching this. It's yeah, filthy dirty seal clubbing at its best. But again, at least I'm not using premium ammunition. Then I'd want a slap. Because it's not like you need it down here really. And this thing does have premium matchmaking as well, so it'll never see higher than tier 4, and I don't even think you need it in your premium ammo in tier 4s, to be fair. Not with 86mm of penetration, although maybe there'd be the odd tank that'd give you trouble, especially at a distance. Matildas, possibly DW2s at a distance, the B1 springs to mind, that sort of thing. There's a Panzerjäger 1 up there. Managed to finish him off with one hit, because, well, little tier 2 tank destroyer, it's not going to take a lot. And there's a Marder 2 running in the opposite direction. Managed to put one into his back. Next one finishes him off because he slows down as he's going over some bumps and lumps there. And artillery was starting to pay me attention, so I think it was about time I shifted. because one of these artillery has been having a good game. You see there, I was having a quick check of the team lists just to see what was left and basically how well they've been doing, and that's when I saw the arty had been having quite a decent game, and I think he was in a clan. I mean, this guy, he seems to know what he was doing. So I'm going to head towards their base, see if I can't root out artillery, and hope that that medium, if he makes it to our base, either gets shotgunned by our arty. Oh no, there's a tank destroyer back there as well. So we have got some defence on base. So yeah, they've just gone out of radio range. So hopefully if that medium has looped round some other way and gets to our base, they'll be able to take him out and stop him capping, because although I should be able to get back in time because this thing is fast enough, I'm not familiar enough with the Ardennes map yet, you know, to know the quickest and the best routes back. As you can tell here, I'm trying to get to the enemy base, and I'm sort of going all around the houses a little bit. But I do like the Ardennes map. I've been reading on the forums, there's a lot of people that don't like it. I do like it. I do like the trees. It makes it feel more like a battleground, and like, you know, like tank destroyers have got somewhere to hide. Light tanks have actually got some spotting to do, and the tank destroyers can sort of hide in all the foliage, and I think that works quite well. And a lot of people have been throwing around sort of corridorised, and although yes, it does have a lot of corridors on it, you'll notice that nearly all of them you can climb straight out the sides of them, and there's only maybe 2-3 parts of it, apart from the town of course, but it's a town that you can't actually climb out of apart from each one. And there's the Vesper. He's the one who's been having a damn good game, and he's pulling back, he's not sitting there, he's been watching the map and he knows what's going on. And yeah, I missed him, which was unfortunate. And he's engaged his cloaking device again. I've been spotted. Now, maybe I make a mistake here, because I didn't notice that arty had popped back up on the map at this point. There you go, now I notice. But he's still out of my view, and that thing is, well, he's AFP, but an AFP tank, or an AFK tank, and I say AFP, so away from pad, an AFK tank can still spot your location, so I need to take him down. I managed to get one in the Vesper, and he slams one straight into my face and finishes me off. Now, I'm assuming that that was splash damage. I can't remember the penetration of a Vesper shell offhand. He may have loaded a premium shell. That might have been what he was doing when he was backing up. I really don't know. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but it could have been. But yeah, I'm gonna assume that that was splash damage. And if I hadn't have gone YOLO at that S35 earlier on, there's a good chance I could have survived that one. So, you know, what do you do? It's one of those things, isn't it? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Yeah, I'm just looking now, 53mm penetration on its standard rounds, so it could have gone through the front of me. If it had come down on top of me, it definitely would have. And there's the two arty left on their team. Like I say, one of them has been having a damn good game, and we've got a tank destroyer and an artillery, and I think I switched to them. Yeah, there we go, to try and follow them through, and I think I'm going to speed it. Right, so I've sped it up a bit for you here, and the Vesper that's left is on 5 kills, one of which is me, the Git. Now, I could be wrong with these guys, you know, I could be way off the mark, but the way that they were driving their tanks and the way that they were going, they were in a platoon, but it seemed to give the impression to me that they were new players. The things that they did, the way they handled the tanks and the way they steered, it did give the impression that they were new to this game. And you just saw the artillery got taken out back there, and I'm sat watching this guy and I am screaming at the TV, turn around, and I just felt that that artillery, that Vesper, was going to come up either that way or off to the left, and I was just shouting for this guy to turn around and cover one, or you know, try and sit sort of in between them to cover the routes, because I just felt that that Vesper was on his way. Well, do you know what? This little guy, he won the match. He won it for us. He got to the enemy base and he capped out, and fair play to him. whether he's a new player or one who's knows what he's doing and been on it for a while. Yeah, he camped out and he won us the game. I was afraid we were going to lose, so well played to him. So I finished up with 8 kills and a Top Gun. No Radleys, have got to be tier 5 for that. No Devastator, your targets have got to be tier 4 at least for that. But 8 kills and a Top Gun, I'll settle for that. That was a nice match. So anyway, there you go. That's what I've been doing over the weekend. I've actually been doing a lot of seal clubbing. I don't normally play low tiers very much, but I've just been finding the higher tiers very, very frustrating over the weekend, especially through this hammer up. Yeah, I've just found some of the games very frustrating. Anyway, as always, I hope you like what you've seen, and if you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And well, I'll catch you next time. See you later.